Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of NoSkillCraft. I'm back here, at our villager breeder setup here for this episode because it's time to do some enhancements here. It needs some, we'll call it some upgrades. First, I need to do something with this. Having this little tunnel is nice, but having it go directly into the trading hall only, not so useful. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a way to pre-screen them, because shooting them straight into the trading post and then having to decide if we want them or not and kill them become cumbersome. There's not many that we need now, so I want a way to screen them right here. So the first thing they'll do is they'll come out and they'll get stopped at a little point where you can decide whether you like them or not. Then there'll be a couple of selector rails. One that will go to their death, one that will go up there, one that's going to go to a portal that I'm going to build. It's going to just be linked up to that one. It's not going to be it's going to be a entrance only. You won't be able to leave the nether and come to it, but it'll be a way that we can get villagers out of here into the nether very easily. It'll just be a portal and they'll just come out at the same one that the trading post comes out of, and then there'll just be one that just gets them out here. That'll be fine. The next thing I need to do is the villager that's up in there, I'm going to drop him down a few blocks and sit him on top of a piston, and then I'm going to rig up a counter system using just a couple of droppers. Basically the way I do RS NOR latches, I'm going to use one of those to count approximately how many villagers are in there. I'm going to have a tripwire up in here that as they pass through they'll trigger the counter up, and as we push a button and get one out with the minecarts, basically this circuit will also trigger one out, and then as it gets to, well, it'll be 42 will be the number that actually triggers it off, but there'll be obviously some baby villagers down in here still waiting to grow up. But once it hits 42, it'll trigger off and the piston will drop, and the villager that's in there is going to be low enough that he no longer detects that there's a valid village. So that way these guys will stop breeding and it won't just completely go insane. And the reason being is that I'm going to then build a small little carrot farm. Just a tiny little one, just something that can automatically feed these villagers, so I don't have to come and use this micro farm whenever I need to breed more. Sorry about that. So yeah, once I have that in place, the little automatic carrot farm that I'm going to have a brown shirt villager working in and a hungry villager in to trick him into feeding them, the output from that farm will just come and basically slide right past these guys, and they'll just pick up food as they want it, and then whenever we need villagers they'll just be ready to go. Well, they're still tossing around some carrots now. They don't have enough food right now to breed, that's why there's no babies. Basically I just come in and micro farm up a bunch of stacks of carrots and toss it to them when I need to breed some now. But I'm going to automate all of that. But first I need to gather up some materials and get set up and whatnot, so let me go do that. I've been playing around here on one of my testing worlds for a few minutes because I've been trying to figure out a way to make it so when I have a villager line that leads just out into nowhere, I can block it up, and trying to figure out how to make the timing work. And basically I just have to use a little tricky bug update. This piston, the sole purpose that it does is 2 ticks later after it gets powered it fires, which makes this one go, oh yeah, I'm fired, and then extend, so that way when I flip this lever it can instantly get out of the way, so that way these ones can close. And then if I don't have this, if I just go boop, take that out, basically that one opens, but this one can't open at that time, because it just can't, because this block is in its way, so it can't push these rails in. And I was messing around trying to time it, but then it gets in the way of that block, so the easiest way was to just fool it with a quick little block update. I just neat little trick that I figured out as I've been sitting here trying to screw around for the last 20 minutes trying to figure out this stupid rail door. And then obviously you can build up around it so it's a proper door, so that way things can't just walk through. Oops. Good. which is basically what it is to mob proof the whole thing, so that way we don't get any mobs wandering through into the villager breeder. Boop, and then it's fully closed. Nothing can just wander its way through. And of course you could also like hook up like a detector rail and do the same thing, trigger the same type of process, hook it up to some kind of like pulse extender so it gives you enough time to roll your way through, or you could even set up like an RS NOR latch that gets triggered as you go through, but then you can only use it one way. So yeah, you don't want just the pulse extender. But yeah, neat little trick I figured out, so I'll be using this in the coming build. So quick little progress update here. Basically I've started to outline the initial part here. Basically they're going to come down out of there and they're going to get stopped right here in this little downward facing V of powered rails, and then you can stand here and you can talk to them, decide what you want to do, and you can walk along, flip the little levers that'll be in the next section, and then once you get it figured out you push the little button and the powered rails go and they get shot along to wherever they want to go. I've been trying to figure out how to fit it all in and make it all look pretty, and then I decided this is the industrial park. It doesn't have to look super pretty, it just needs to work. So I'll make it look as pretty as I can as I go, but there's not a lot of space to work with here. I'm going to probably have to extend this out as it is. Obviously this line is going to go because it's no longer going to be needed. All the actual talking to the villager stuff is going to be done up in here. So yeah, I've started to figure out how it's going to get laid out, so let me get a little bit more done here and I'll be back in a moment. Another little progress update here. I'm coming back up this hole where I've dug down to the bedrock and placed some lava. This is the new villager disposal system, so I just need to get it back up here to the surface. Come on, a few more blocks. Oh, I'm close enough. Almost dark, but it's good enough. Let me get back up in here. So what I've added is I've got a line here with a selection where you can send them to the trading posts or along their way. A sign that says, you know, push it forward to get the trading post, pull it back to pass, you know, pass along this point to the next one. I'll have another little selector here for the same type of deal to send them on their way to their death. I'll have another one like right here to send them to the portal, and then the way out where they can just like get on wherever we need to send them in the overworld without using a portal will be over here. So it's starting to come together here. I've almost got the new transport portion of the upgrades done, so let me get the rest of this in place and we'll get on with what else we have to do to the breeder system. Alright, little progress update here. I've got the portal in place, which is just linked up to the exit for the same portal as that one, and I'm going to leave this open so you can just walk down here and go through the portal with your villager. This lever works different than the other ones, so passes actually that way instead of this way, just because of the way rails and directions work. There's no way around that. So the last thing I got to do, I also have this door hooked up, so you flip that, boop, opens up. Flip it, boop, it closes, and I've got the whole circuitry for that all just hidden in these little rooms. Well, they're rooms you can't get into. They're perfectly sealed, so we'll call them rooms just for fun. So the last thing I got to do is hook up the button, so you can push a button probably here that will pull a villager out of the system and put them right here, and put a roof on this thing and make sure it's well lit in here, shit like that. It's also nighttime, so I gotta sleep, and I gotta make a way that is better to get from over in this section to over there, because right now it's just a matter of jump down and fly around. So yeah, I need to work out that part still too, but I'm sure I'll figure that out fairly easy. But it's all coming together, so let me get the controls rigged up to actually get a villager request done, and then I will test it out with everybody live and see how all the different options work, and hopefully it doesn't fail, because that would not be fun. Alright, system should be ready for testing. If I push this button, Should get a villager stopped right there so we can talk to him, check him out, see what he is. He's just a little stupid green shirt. So we want to pass the trading post. We want to send him to the disposal. And then if I push this button, oh, I went the wrong way. That's should have been what happened the first time. Now he's gone to his death. Wonder why. I think it's because he ended up on this rail. I don't think I'm too concerned if we have to push him twice. Let's see what happens this time. So he's like a cleric. Push the button. Yeah, he goes that way. And he comes back. And he just... Oh, no. Come back and get stuffed on the rail. Yeah. And then we push it. And off he goes. So let's try sending one into the post. Excuse me. He's just a fisherman, whatever. Off he goes, and if I jump up here, I should see him. Yeah, there he goes, there he goes. And he's made it in. Alright, so I'll go deal with him later. So we'll pass the trading post, and this time we'll send him to the portal. Yep, so that one's right. Villager request. Oh, he made it right on past. And he's going down there. Why is he going down there? Why did he make it past that? Maybe I need another powered rail here to slow him down some? Well, that doesn't seem like it would probably work. Alright, let me work on this for a second and see what I can do about it. Alright, basically I moved this down one and made just one powered rail, because having two powered rails, when you flip this, it was powering it, making it all weird. So one powered rail is working. So if I push this button, we get a villager here. You can go, hey, what's up, Mr. Cleric? Yeah, you're terrible. So we're going to pass on the trading post. We're going to send you to the disposal. Push that button, and off you go. And then, of course, we can flip that and flip this to send them to the portal. And we go, boop. And who are we going to get? Just some shitty toolsmith. Push the button. And off he's going to go down by the portal. And then you can just come down here, knock him out of his cart, and through the portal he goes. Took a little damage, but whatever. It's the way she goes. And of course you can leave it on pass, and I'm not going to show it because it doesn't go anywhere. It comes out to these rails here, and essentially you can just build them off to wherever you need to go. This is just going to be like, I'm just going to leave it like this normally. I'll probably build some blocks out here just to give you some room to work with, but essentially it's just going to be wherever you need to build rails to temporarily, and then you tear them down and you come back and you flip this lever. Bam. So now I'm going to put a ceiling on this thing, just so that way, you know, we don't get any mobs in here, and probably light up the top of it because I don't want mobs spawning on top of it. But this part of the system is in place. I like it. It's pretty convenient to use. It's not too difficult. Works pretty well. I need to put some torches on the floor. I don't think I'm going to do any like fanciness in here. It's more of a working area. Come in here to get some work done. Don't come in here to look pretty. So let me get a roof on this, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the roof on this this bad boy. I just put some raised slabs on all the parts that aren't like the walled off sections. So it just gives it a little bit of weird shape there. Kind of makes it look more utility shed-ish, which is kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, it's not looking great, but it doesn't look entirely shitty. I've seen a lot worse builds that I've made, and I'm going to make a lot worse builds. You can count on it. But it works. It's functional. I was going to do the next section was going to be rigging up some food and stuff for them and doing the counter and all that, but I forgot. I need to collect a bunch of resources for a project that we're going to be doing this weekend for our community night. I don't have any more chicken on me. I'll have to get some of that. So instead, I'm going to do some first-person high speeds of me collecting some sand, some dirt, and some gravel. I need a shulker box each of those. So yeah, that's coming up next. Alright, so that was a bunch of resources gathered in a very short amount of time. But I'm not going to tell you what they're for. It's a big secret. You'll have to come back for Wednesday's episode to find out what that's all about. But that's going to be it for me for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, come back on Wednesday if you want to check out what I need these materials for our community project. And come back on Friday if you want to see me finish up the villager breeder upgrading stuff. Oh, shit. That was interesting. Elytra fuck up there. But yeah, if you like this video, go ahead, smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. You know, all that dealy stuff. So yeah, that's it. I'm out of here.